very easy to follow. I
Yep.
think it's a great thing.
Yeah. Okay, so we are in the grade book. I don't know where I just did that. So we are in classes 108BX. And then we're going to go to library because we have, so basically there's this giant like web storage of all these quizzes. And so if a teacher creates a quiz, which I doubt you'll be creating any quizzes, they're going to just give them to you. But it's called the teacher LOR. I'm not even sure what LOR stands for, but so that you want to be in the teacher LOR. And it's not always the easiest way to find the quizzes. I mean, there's a search category, so I'm going to put 3.05 and see what comes up. Because it's quizzes from every subject, every person that uses this K-12, you know, it's like we're getting 201 searches just for the numbers 3.05. So sometimes I will change the date so it'll be the most recently created one. So here we go. So now that makes more sense. March 28th. So Allison made this yesterday. Quiz Midsummer C. And so I'm like, well, that must be it. So I'm going to click on that one. And then you're going to retrieve it. So basically you're pulling it out of their storage bank and you're putting it into your quiz list. All right. And you're going to import into quiz list. All right. And then just hit done there. So now I have pulled it out of the storage and I have put it into my quiz list. So now I need to go find it in my quiz list. So I go to Tools, Manage Quizzes, and I'm going to scroll down till I find 3.04, and it's showing up as future quizzes, or 3.05. And you'll have to do this for every quiz that comes out. Janelle probably is leaving the 3.05 quiz in the honors one, and I sometimes do. It totally depends. But because Janelle did this quarter, I pretty much left the quizzes as is. The only time I change the quizzes for honors is because if we deleted a major chunk out of that unit, then I will edit I'll give them a test that, so I don't have to, you know, there's no way to delete those questions in the quizzes that are already provided. So I'll just use whatever the gen ed teachers are using. Okay, so anyway, I opened up the quiz and you got to look at properties. There's several things you have to look at. So you're in unit 3, so that's where it's supposed to be. And there are 6 questions. So it's going to be total worth 6 points. She doesn't have any directions included, so you're good there. Go under restrictions. Sometimes it's hidden, so you have to make sure it's active. And you want to make sure it has a due date. And we said this due date was, let me look at the calendar real quick. Is the due date the 4th, I think, Thursday? Yeah, okay, so 3.05 quiz is going to be due Thursday. Anytime there's a spot where it says quiz, or I mean says due date, make sure you put it in, or it won't show up on their end as an overdue assignment, and then they think they don't have anything to do. So you always want a due date, and I do all the way till midnight that night. So has a due date, has a start date, which means they can't open it until Thursday, and then it has an end date. So it has to have it doesn't always have to have a start date. I do just so I know when they're allowed to access it. And then, but like I said, it does have to have an end date. Everybody's going to be taking it. And then sometimes you have to go into the assessment. So if you look, you want it to always have a check mark that says allowed attempt to be set and graded immediately. And then it says no grade item. You need to have a grade item here because then if it says no grade item, it won't show up in the grade book. So you're going to have to add a grade item, and you're going to do 3.05 Midsummer Nights. C. And I'm only putting C because sometimes the way the course has the lesson set up, they have A, B, C, D for each of the chunks of the readings that they're doing. So any way that helps them track it. And then, so you're going to put the name. You want to do a short name too. I always just copy and paste the long name. And you want to make the category whatever unit we're in. So we're in unit 3. And then you scroll down a little bit more and make sure, so there were 6 questions, 6 points. Because I think it like automatically populates to 10. And then grade item is always visible. Don't do anything with that. That should populate like it's supposed to. Click save. And then you can allow however many attempts. I usually allow 2. And if they want another attempt, they're more than welcome to ask, and I can open up for another attempt. And you just have to go back into that, what we just did, come back into here in that quiz list and just change it to from 2 to 3. So basically, if one student asks for another attempt, you're going to be opening up attempts for every student. But so what? I think some people even leave them as unlimited. If they want to try to do better, I'm all for it. Okay, so now we've pulled the quiz from the library. We have put it into our quiz list and made all the adjustments for the date and the grading amount. However, you're not done. You got one more step left you have to do. You got to go to the content. And you have to put that quiz into the assessment folder in lesson 3.05. I forget that step more times than I'd like to admit. And the lesson will start and they're like, Miss Wooden, there's no quiz there. And I'm like, crap. So you go to content, you make sure you're in lesson 3.05 under the assessment. Oh, see how it's marked as draft right here? Yeah. It's because I wasn't 100% sure whether we were going to do a quiz that day or not. So I closed I put all the quizzes to draft until we set them, which is real easy. When you're in that assessment folder, you just click from draft to publish. Now they can see it. So make sure it's published, and then you go to existing activities because it's already in our quiz list, and you go to quizzes. And then you go down to find 3.05. And now everything we've done, the quiz with the quiz name and the due dates and all that, are now in the folder that the students can see. Okay. So there's lots of little steps. I'm glad we recorded that. So now you just have to go and do that to the honors if you're going to. I'm going to look at the honors while we're here and while it's recording and see what I might have taken it out or I might have left it. So now we go to 109B is the honors. And I've done the same thing. So their schedule and their async schedule and everything is just the same there. Midsummer. And then down to lesson 5. Okay. All right, so that quiz is already set in there. And I already have the due date for it. So you don't have to do anything for the honors. You're good there. But I would, anytime they send a quiz, I would just check to make sure it's done right. So you just want to come in the content, see if it's there, if it's published, and if there's dates on it. Okay. And you should be good there. Oh, I was curious as to why it said one user exempt. It's because I exempted Rebecca from everything.